Small call. That's my guess. I think Griff and Lauren are out and a bunch of people are sick or taking the day
Holiday.
off.
Yeah.
Labor Day.
Oh, so Griff and Lauren aren't going to be on the fundraising call either?
I don't know. Griff just DM'd me saying he's not going to be in this call.
Okay.
And Lauren left the dev call early, so my guess is that they're. Oh, Danny. Maybe she knows something we don't. All right. Well, we will begin slowly. Welcome, friends, to the governance call. It's the 1st of May. And actually, interesting, May Day is usually when in Montreal when they have lots of protests. I don't know if that's a thing in other places. No?
I think it's worldwide. Yes.
Worldwide.
Yeah, like in Spain there were protests, and I'm pretty sure in Argentina too.
I remember that Montreal, it's just like May Day, everybody strikes. Everybody goes on strike. They're just like, heck the government. But we won't do that today. Okay, how you feeling? Focus for the week, intentions for the call. Oh, damn, there's really nobody. Feeling great. Gonna take a half day. Focus for the week is going to be treasury management and GiveFi and probably some other stuff. But anyway, intention for the call, talk about treasury management and facilitate. I'll pass it on to Heather.
Hey, I'm feeling good, feeling distracted because it's such a beautiful holiday here and it's sunny. And my intention for the call is to talk about the Opolis Giveth partnership for just a quick 5 minutes. Rachel, she was supposed to come. I don't know if she'll make it. And yeah, to do a review on the co-working call that we had for peer reviews last week. And I will pass it on to Kotabe.
GM, feeling good. By the way, do you hear me well?
Yep.
Okay. Really like the new hairstyle, Heather. Haven't seen you like that. It's good. My focus for the week, there's going to be some work on region farms. Hopefully that pays off. A few things on fundraising and community tasks. What else? And for this call, thinking I'll pass it to Rachel.
Thanks. I'm feeling excited for the week, processing payments and time reports and going back home. My focus for this week is that processing payments and reminding everyone to please enter your time reports. And if you took some paid time off, please enter it in Coda. And yeah, that's it for me. I'll pass it to Nicola.
Thanks, Rachel. Good morning, GM, guys. Happy Monday. Okay. I'm feeling good, ready for the week. My focus will be governance-wise. I definitely want to catch up on a forum and actually engage in a token lock. And also want to finalize another round of verification. We'll be focusing a little more on a GG, understand gravity, give it gravity. And also I want to definitely support and provide, offer my support to you, Mitch, with organizing the Barcelona calls and coordinating there. So that's it for now. And for this call, I just want to sync up with you guys, see what's going on, where to put my attention, and no distractions. I'm gonna pass it to Danny.
Good morning, everyone. Mitch, look at you with your short hair. I am here. Also, like Nicola said, I want to pay attention to token log and look at the forum a little bit this week, but mostly I'm doing Gitcoin stuff and going through the projects and making a list of different projects that are up that that I want to connect to some other funding streams that I'm aware of. And also, I think this is the week I'm going to dive into some praise reports. It's been on my list for a little bit, and I think this is where I've got some space for that. So excited to take a look at that stuff and to see you all. And I'll pass it to Franco.
Thank you, Danny. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a little bit tired. I just got back like 2 hours ago from a big trip I did last week. I was biking. It was really nice. And my focus this week, I'm still a little bit like just landed kind of situation. So I need to prioritize, and there's a lot of things to do, probably rewards. Nicola mentioned there's going to be a call for Ethereum Barcelona, so I love to get involved in that as well. And yeah, intentions for the call. She's going to be streaming and catching up with everything that's going on because I've been away. And I'll pass it on to Nico.
Thanks, Franco. I'm good. I'm very excited for the week, and I had an amazing weekend. So yeah, my focus for the week is to facilitate buddy calls, and also help out with payroll, and also fix some issues in Coda. And yeah, my intention for this call is to sync up, and I have no distractions right now. So I'm passing it to Kotabe. Have you gone?
Yes, I did.
We still have to hear from Mo.
Okay, so pretty good. And my focus for this week is actually I'm trying to find my focus. The QF, the instant boosting, the page, the single project, the layout, very much to focus on. And am I the last one? Can I pass it back to you, Mitch?
You are the last one. Okay. Cool. Well, first things we got some here. Giveth an Opolis partnership. So maybe you want to just take it, Heather?
Yeah, so this is a form proposal that I put on last week, and it's will only impact contributors who reside or have citizenships in the US within 48 different states, and then also in Canada. And it's also limited to certain provinces, so I'm not sure if Saskatchewan is included in there, Mitch. But so basically Opolis provides it provides contributors with the service of setting up an LLC and then paying yourself out of your LLC through Opolis. So they can accept payments in crypto and then off ramp it into fiat for you, and then do all of your tax withholdings and give you a W-2 tax form. And then if you make a certain amount of money, or actually report a certain amount, like it's up to each contributor how much they choose that they want to, then they can access healthcare benefits. It also depends on the state as well. So yeah, this is just trying to make contributor lives easier. And I put this on the forum because I wasn't sure if we were going to offer a subsidy or not, because the WorkDAO partnership we did because the fee structure for WorkDAO was significantly more expensive. However, Opolis is a lot more affordable, so I don't think we need to. The fees for Opolis, it's $300 to set up an LLC that they will do for you, and then they will take 1% of the income that you report on your dashboard. So if you report 30,000, they'll take 300. If you report 50,000, they'll take 500 a year. So that's significantly better than WorkDAO. So yeah, I don't think this like requires an on-chain vote. I just wanted for contributors to know, well, for eligible contributors to know that this is an option. So wanted to make a formal process out of it with information.
And this is for residents of those countries, not citizens, right? I'm assuming.
Well, I think it depends. I mean, I'm not sure how it is in Canada. I know in the US, like, we should be reporting our taxes every year, even if we are outside of the country. We should like file being outside. Yeah, so that's why I said citizenship. And yeah, we will have account representatives who can answer all the detailed questions that you have. They're really helpful. Jeremy is his name. So
This is the Typeform website. That's why I'm so confused.
oh, did I put the wrong link?
Let's see. What is this here? What was I trying to click on? Oh yeah. Prospective Canadian members start here, and then it's a link to the. Something's wrong with the link. Looks really broken. But anyway, if you go to it, it just opens the Typeform website. So
okay. I will try and update that link. So
yeah. Well, I think American and Canadian residents probably make up a minority of what we got here. But this is cool to see that it looks a lot cheaper than WorkDAO, for sure.
yeah, so yeah, just wanted to make it public so people know the options that are out there. And then they did say that if we have contribute like more than 10 people in one country, that they would explore expanding services there as well. So if there's a lot of contributors in Germany or Spain or something, then they would explore what tax compliance looks like at that country. They do have plans to expand, and I hope they can because I think they offer pretty good services. So
Okay. I'm curious on that, like just a number, like do you know how many people opted into WorkDAO through that whole process?
through ours, a lot of people who were interested in participating, sorry, ambulances in Europe. Oh, they were more curious for visa purposes, not necessarily for tax compliance. And that's not the primary goal of WorkDAO is offering visa services. So I'd say not many people were interested after that became apparent. And yeah, they're also limited in working with people from countries on sanctions list too.
Yep. So how many people opted into WorkDAO throughout
I
that
would
whole?
say probably 0. I think they had quite a few people contact them, but then it just wasn't a fit.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I think it'd be a big thing. Go ahead, Kai.
I just wanted to ask, sorry, I came late, but it says open for American citizens because I was very interested. I wrote to Heather like 2 weeks ago. I'm very interested in tax compliance because my country has crazy new tax laws.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
German tax compliance is a bigger issue.
Austria.
Yeah. Austria is so crazy. Yeah, I have to pay 25% on every crypto thing I exchange to euro, no matter the gains or whatnot, like everything. So yeah, as long as I get my salary in crypto, I have to give 25%, and on top of that, I have to give tax, income tax. So, but do you know if they plan to support maybe my country or the EU?
Not that I know of, but actually, like, Workdown might be helpful for that with you, because for that service of them off-ramping crypto for you into euro, that would be around like $100 a month. So that might be.
Yeah, I still have to have the call. Heard back from Joseph, but he said that's probably not the option I can take. Just so you know. But you know, I'll give you more details after the call. So maybe I'll be the first one then with the Workdown. Interesting.
Yeah, and Opolis, like, they, as total, they serve around 500 people in Web3.
Awesome. Do you want to tell us about this next one, Heather? Review of,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the impromptu peer review hack session or co-working session went really well. In the total between both calls, we had 21 peer reviews submitted, which is a great number considering in a quarter we get around 20. So, yeah, I think it's very effective. It's something that I would like to do at the end of every quarter, but of course be more planned out because this was really on the fly because, yeah, it definitely improved results. And then Kai, his hackathon project was pretty cool too around how to like do peer reviews in a more efficient way. So maybe that's something we could help people do as well because they are tedious and it takes like 10 to 15 minutes to do one. So yeah, that was the update I wanted to give.
I can move it. I just need to move the channel. It's working. It's like this. It's already on our server and people can use it right now. They just need guidance, I guess. But yeah, I can do that and we'll post some instructions.
Cool. You're on mute, Mitch.
Can you give me the TLDR? I watched Kai's presentation, but I also watched.
Oh, I
like,
just made a very quick integration with ChatGPT, and I just use it to translate voice. So you can, instead of filling out the body review, you just speak, and then you drag in the voice file, and it like it just is very good at like catching exactly what has been said. And it could abbreviate that in the future. I did not opt in to do so, but yeah, many things possible.
Records voice and creates a transcript.
And now you record your voice and you send it to the bot, and it just gives back the transcript to human resources and like deletes your message and handles it like privately for you.
Okay.
You get a copy in HR.
Okay, so like feedback voice notes.
Yeah,
Is
you
it-
can. So the name of the channel, I need to open it for unicorns. I think it's
Right
named.
here, back office buddy reviews.
No, yeah, body reviews in the back office. I'll move it up to governance if you want.
Okay. Okay, great. Great. Cool. Cool. Anything else, Heather? Or that's the gist of it.
That's all I got.
That's great. Well, I'm down. I'll leave it in your capable hands if you wanna plan the next quarterly buddy review session.
We'll do it. Me and Nico will do it.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Some stuff in the forum. The only thing right now is we've got a couple votes to pass in our GiveDAO. There's the contributor reimbursement for March. That's set to pass barely. There's minting some NR Give for Danny in here. for Amin, and then I think, yeah, Nico, you just put yours up this morning as well. So there's 4 votes up there to be voted on. This last one for Danny is going to end in about an hour. So if you haven't voted on it, last chance. And then apart from those 4 things in there, I think we're pretty good. And just a reminder that NR Give is going to close in 2 days. So you've got 2 days to put in your request. After that, that's the end of the show. So don't miss it. Some stuff in the forum that I wanted to catch up on, or just some stuff in general. There's this treasury management update that I put sometime last week. I would like to propose a few different things. First of all, maybe if you didn't know, we did manage to cash out the money that we got from Optimism from their retro public goods funding. It came out to about 280,000 DAI. So I would like to propose that we start using that money to cover our costs, at least in part. Somewhere around 40 to 50% of what we're spending on salary costs, or whatever that number is that Frashell makes up in the contributor reimbursement. We might be able to cover ourselves at that for the next 5 to 6 months, depending how much we choose to cover. So that, to me, I would like to see us spending that money that we got from Optimism this way, removing a lot of the burden from Griff from having to pay out everybody 100% of the cost in DAI from his own pocket and paying him back in Give. So we can basically send the DAI and the Give in like a reimbursement. Just send that to, I don't know, I assume it goes to Griff, and then everyone gets paid out as normal, but then there's less DAI coming out of Griff's own pocket this way, and we don't have to do anything crazy complicated. I'll stop there before moving on. I'm wondering if anybody has any opinions, or maybe Frashell could correct me if I'm wrong on anything.
Yeah, I think you got it, Mitch. So this proposal passes, then that means the DAI will be paid directly from the Giveth wallet to each of contributors' wallet, right?
Well, I think we just send the DAI and the Give to whoever does it normally. Like, I think you handle that normally, Frashell, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Yeah.
probably just for simplicity's sake, we just keep maintaining it that way. And instead of just sending 100% of this reimbursement in Give, it's like, okay, 50% DAI, 50% Give. Maybe the Give goes into to Griff's pocket, and then the DAI gets distributed along with the other remaining amount, which comes from Griff, I guess. And then we send it out the way we always do.
Yeah. So I support this proposal. Yeah, I fully support this proposal.
Okay. Were you going to say something, Kai?
No, sorry, I'm just I did not
Yeah, all good, all good. Yeah, so that's the first part there. Trying to at least meet some financial obligations and stop doing this 100% Give thing and try and pay a good portion of our bills with DAI. So that's the first part there that I wanted to talk about. The next part would be visiting some of these pools that we put our funds in, namely in ETH, in DAI, and USDC. Currently, everything is sitting in Yearn, which is okay. The yield hasn't been that impressive. I would like to suggest we move it into this indexed co-op token called ICETH. We are actually currently exploring a partnership with them. So they're a pretty good protocol. They've been around for a couple of years. they have this thing called index compounding ETH. It takes a bunch of liquid staking tokens, like an index of those, and then leverages it through Aave to give like a slightly better return than the liquid staking token return. So anyway, it'll get us a couple percentage points more of yield. And we have about 34 ETH that's eligible to get put into this. So it would cost a bit in gas. I probably wouldn't do it right now. Gas is like crazy, but something to look at if you think it's a good idea. Same thing with the DAI strategy. It was pretty high for a while, and then it came back down to like below 3%. There is a protocol called Idle Finance, which has a partnership with Shapeshift. They're really solid. They've been well audited. They've been around for a while, and they have some better DAI yielding strategies, above 7% yield, which would be a huge increase from below 3%. And it is protected yield. So this means that like there's two tranches. There's like a senior one and a junior one. So if anything happens, the people who are deposited in the junior cover the losses of the people in the senior. And the junior one is like, yeah, around like 16% yield. And this senior one, which is covered up to 85%, it has about 7.4%. So we have around 15,000 right now in this Yearn vault. And we have another 17,000 DAI, which came from DAO drops that could be eligible to be moved into a new vault. So there's a couple of ways of going about it. Either we leave this stuff in Yearn and then we only deposit the new DAI into this new Idle Finance or some other vault that has a bit higher yield. And same thing here with USDC. We could try and use Goldfinch, but it might not work because it requires you to create a digital identity through somebody. And then the other option is Idle Finance, which has about similar. Right now, we're making about 2% APY, which is fairly low, considering we could get something similar. Let's see here. Yeah, this is like 11.3% on Idle, so significantly higher. And again, that's protected senior pool. So just a few things to think there. There's not as much. There's only about 11,000. There's another 4,000 that we got from the Polygon grant that's on Polygon. So if we wanted to bridge it over, we could compound that into our deposits as well, or we could find something on Polygon and just dump it in there as well. That's the gist of it. There's a whole bunch of votes here just to get some signaling. I was hoping maybe to do this sometime next week and give people some time to think about it, research the stuff, and leave some comments or vote on the things. But does anybody have any questions or just comments right now on the call?
Yeah, I guess I do. I just think like for me, whenever I see APIs like super high like that, it always just seems really scary and like maybe like doing more like investigation around what their organization is like before we put our money in there. More due diligence. So
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I've done a lot of due diligence into these guys, like as much as I can. Shapeshift already has a partnership with them. We were trying to go through a partnership with them. They're fairly well audited and they do have a pretty good score on some of these like protocol ratings review platforms. But again, I want to leave it for people to do their own due diligence and not just listen to me.
cool. Thanks for checking those out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Next thing, I'll just jump to this point here for ETH Barcelona. I put up a doodle poll last week. Only 6 people responded. From that, I set a time to have our weekly ETH Barcelona calls, which is going to be 9 a.m. Mexico time. That's Wednesdays, right after the Give Economy call. And so we'll have our first one this Wednesday. I guess for you, Franco, this will be the time where we start actively planning week to week what we're going to be doing at ETH Barcelona.
Yeah, perfect. I can do Wednesdays, no problem.
Cool. Cool. Great. All right. Subdelification stewards. We had a session last Tuesday. It was a big, long 2-hour session. I thought it was really good. Kind of going over the 6 different working groups that I proposed. Let's see if we can find it here right now. Pretty buried in there. So yeah, it seemed like in general, most of these things made sense. I think there's still some problems figuring out how to separate DApp and Give Economy, or if they should even stay separate, since a lot of the issues are so intertwined now. So I'm trying to get Monique and Lauren to like talk with each other, see what they think, because in either of these situations, it would probably impact how they lead either of those groups. Apart from that, like rewards seems to make a lot of sense. DAO ops seems like something that we would need, but DAO ops would have a lot of different things under it. So, you know, all of our voting apps, all of the ways that we vote, things like the buddy system, our conflict resolution, treasury management, vesting, our accounting. So there's lots of things kind of like umbrellaed underneath this DAO ops working group. The other thing was Communitas. We didn't really resonate with affiliating it with just community events, but I think after thinking about it and talking through it, makes sense that we would keep some version of like a Communitas working group going forward. And the last thing was like a fundraising and partnerships working group, which I think, Heather, you're going to play a big role in, and figuring out how to abstract the parts that are general magic and the parts that are Giveth, and like trying to figure out how those operate, which seemed like a big task.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I'm voluntold.
Yeah, sorry, it wasn't clear yet because like Yas was leading those calls for a while, and then you're moving into that, and then it's confusing, but it's also like a big part of Giveth that kind of, you know, operates autonomously, I guess.
Okay. All right. I will read up on that.
Yeah, I'm curious what you think about it as well. It's like this part of Giveth, like I know Kotabe and Yas and Jake spend a lot of time on this, but now it's like, okay, then we have meetings with Justina and Zepti and Ivy and all these other people. But Giveth is like doing its own fundraising efforts in some way. Or are we outsourcing the entire thing to General Magic, and then, you know, how does that work?
Good question. Yeah, I feel like we need some Griff guidance on how like this should be billed.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's some things there, but I do see Giveth fundraising and partnerships kind of like as its own unit. They have
Okay,
their own meetings. There's not a ton of crossover, but with anything there is a bit. The
Yeah.
last thing is some working groups that might spin up as like projects with like a specific end date. So, you know, Give might be a thing, quadratic funding, maybe the referral program, I don't know. And then these IRL events, like for example, like ETH Barcelona that we're planning right now, would become its own working group for like a limited duration and help them like do more coordinated planning. Last thing is chapters. The chapters, if you aren't familiar, it would be like people, organizations based around having the same skills. So this would give people places to coordinate, to do peer review, centralized resource planning, like for developers or DevOps, perhaps. Some things that we came up with was development, communications, design, DevOps. And there was another one that Monique added, having like a roadmap or a strategy chapter. Basically, these people kind of informally get together. Sometimes they don't have a budget or a lead. Sometimes they do have a lead and like a small budget. And then basically making sure that like we're being the most efficient in the way that we like assign people to work on certain things. And so there was a lot of thoughts around that. I'm still waiting to get more feedback from Ashley, from Monique, from Griff, from Lauren, before I really know how to move forward with where we're at right now.
I just want to say that this definitely looks much more clear and makes more sense, and the progress is obvious. And I like the direction that's, yeah, the shape and form that this is taking. So, yeah, it's becoming more clear, more organized. I like that. Thanks, Mitch.
Cool. But yeah. There was, I can probably share the notes as well. There's the one here. Yeah, if anybody wants to take a peek, Lauren and Suga took pretty good notes, so this is all the info here. And I think there's a recording. I think Ashley got a recording, but I have to find it.
Oh, nice. I think I have the recording actually. I can share it.
Oh, thanks. So there was some talk of like the leads acting as like mini CEOs, kind of having like a stronger leadership role within each working group. Griff was suggesting for like these budgets that there was like different options. So when people were proposing a budget, there would be either we shrink the working group, either we maintain it, or we give it an increased budget, which would allow it to grow. So like take on more things. And then obviously the other option, the extreme option is voting to dissolve it or stop it. And keeping budget requests probably 3 months to start. And then once we feel good, we could leave the option for people to plan out 6-month budgets. And there was still a lot of stuff to figure out around, yeah, separating people who are working for General Magic and, you know, people who are working just in Giveth. Kai had some points about DevOps, like DevOps basically needs people working all the time because people take shifts for security alerts, essentially. So, you know, how do we reconcile that? Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff to pull apart here. Okay. Well, I feel like I'm just talking now. So, does anyone have anything else to add to the agenda? We got about 20 minutes left. Are we good?
Thanks, Mitch. I have a question that's not here. I was just thinking with all these great things from AI hackathon, like should we do anything to work on some things, or like could we have a process like to identify what we would want to keep? It seems to be wasteful to not keep anything, you know. Just like
Well, I think if people want to like work on something, they should make a proposal to implement it. Oh my God, Danny has just got a mitt full of kittens. What is that?
Oh,
I
look
just
at
thought you
that.
might want to put a little cuteness at the end of the agenda.
Oh, cuteness.
wow.
I think some of the AI hacks and tricks were already implemented as long as I noticed, along the journey, because I think Lauren was having some cool tools and already putting it into the practice. I do think that it would be cool to review the whole bunch of amazing ideas and see what can we do with it. It will be definitely shame to see it just like go away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially the devs had so many great hacks for Giveth.io that like I feel like if we implement half of them, we would become like a really AI powered dev, which I'm pretty sure there are not many.
Mm-hmm. I think of implementing the AI. I mean, the APIs aren't free, so it's like a cost versus benefit. If we put in a bunch of AI features to the users, who's paying the bill for these APIs?
Yeah, even if we move to our own model, I'm not sure. Like, it would be interesting to see, but like that would need to run on decent hardware. So just if you're thinking like that, I'm not sure we would save any money. So we
Mhm.
could even use ChatGPT for all I know, and I don't think it would be that much. Depends on the feature. I'm thinking of the search. Like the search was blowing me away, to be honest. And to be like a donation platform or like a fundraising platform for public goods that is like AI and blockchain powered, like blowing my mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a good selling point that especially now, because now if you move fast and you say, hey, that's on our thing, well, I mean, this is still like, I mean, I read a newspaper article almost every day. There's something in the newspaper. Even one guy asked ChatGPT what the price of Bitcoin is in 5 years. Oh, great! Somebody had a prompt and asked it. But people write articles about that, so why not, run articles about AI-powered fundraising, even if it's just for some features, But maybe we can be even better for June if that's a thing.
Sure. I think we like they're cool, but I think we need to think more about like, okay, is this effective? How does it fit in this AI integration into all the other things that we're doing? Like there's a million different things we're doing right now. So do we pull developers off of doing what they're doing right now to work on an AI project that seems cool, but does it have are users interested in it? Or is it just like a gimmick, Oh, that's cool. AI told me to do it, but like, are they gonna use it?
Yeah, there were two or three different things that I think of that are just like beneficial to the user. One thing is the search. One thing is the translation. I think Ramin built that. I haven't seen everything, to be honest. Also, like I still have to check out some of the sessions. Yeah. I just wanted to open this up so we don't forget it. Like my suggestion was to keep it like a club, like an interested people club on Fridays informally. But I also think that it's worth exploring adding some little features to the dApp to make it more user friendly.
Mm. Cool. I think there was talk in that group of like meeting on Fridays, no?
Yeah, I said that. I said we should meet every Friday now that people have like Friday AI day in their mind. Friday, wait, no.
Yeah, and you can call it AI Labs.
And it's a Friday. I mean, maybe I have to type it out, but there is like you can also pronounce it AI day, like Friday, right?
I guess that's funny. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want to organize something, I think I can leave it there. Another thing here from Frischel. AI April, sorry, yeah, regular April time reports.
Yeah, so that's just a gentle reminder to please add your time reports, especially for the hourly contributors, so that we could pay on time. So we have batches of payments, one before May 2, next would be May 5, and then May 11 if there's still any one that is unpaid. So please add your time reports. And for everyone else, please also add your time reports in Coda so that I don't know, just to make sure that we could get the like working group cost of our current setup, which could help in budgeting in the like sub the application process in the next months. So if you have any
I have a
questions,
question. I do.
yes.
Maybe someone else has the same question. How do I know how much paid time I have left?
Oh, okay. We have a separate spreadsheet for that. I will share it in a while in the chat. Hold
Thank
on.
you.
Yes. Ooh. Sorry for the baby sound. It's here. Yep. And then if you encounter any issues in Coda, I think there are a couple of issues. If you're encountering, please send your questions to the talent support group chat. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, good. You got it all here. Okay. Great. Some last PSAs. I think that's all we got. Again, just mentioning about the Enter Give tokens. I won't talk much more about that. Buddy reviews. I think there's a couple that are going to be happening this week and next week. So take some time if you haven't already. There's a self-review form to give yourself some feedback and some feedback for Giveth. A contributor feedback form to give any feedback on your fellow contributors. If you're planning to have a buddy call, make sure you keep Nico in the loop. And yeah, that's all I got. Anything else, anyone, or can we?
Call it.
End the call.
We
End the
can.
call. All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah. Oh,
Thank
where's
you.
your fundraising call again? What channel?
Fundraising call. I don't know.
Is it in the? Okay.
Usually at
Bye,
Give Economy.
Okay. You all there?
Bye.
Bye.
See
Ciao.
ya. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.